Greetings guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you are well and I hope that you are fighting because there is a lot to be fighting for. As usual, there'll be a link in the description to the page on my website with a bunch of petitions, donations, emails to send to MPs, etc, etc. So today I'm going to be talking about something that has been requested to me a lot over this past week, and that is the super straight movement. Now, if you spend any time on TikTok, I am sure you know what this is. I don't use TikTok anymore because that app gives me a headache. As someone who used to be a creator on it, I put that app behind me. So I went onto TikTok to go through this, and I remembered exactly why I left TikTok, because my dear lord, it is an absolute nightmare. So if you, like me, do not know what this is, let me explain it to you. So basically there's this guy who created a whole new sexuality called super straight. And basically it's just straight, but transphobic, you know? So what it means is that you are only attracted to cis people, because this has extended out into super gay, super bi, super whatever. You're only attracted to cis people. That's what this is. Super straight is the main thing, because of course it is. This is mostly cis het men, because are we surprised? And I just think that this is so stupid. Let me just clarify, right? And there's a lot of trans creators who've talked about this. A lot of trans people say this. It's okay to have a genital preference. For starters, there is a difference between a sexuality and a preference. And I think these people do not understand that. They don't understand that at all. They have a preference to a specific genitalia, right? They have a preference for that. That's fine. That's fine. People aren't saying you aren't allowed that preference. There's so many posts with these made up scenarios of like, trans women think that they're entitled to have sex with me. Trans women say that I have to have sex with them or I'm transphobic. No, where? Show me that happening anywhere, anytime. I'm waiting. That's never once happened ever. Trans women don't want to have sex with you, and I think that you are upset by that. You're upset trans women don't want to have sex with you. Is that what this is? Do you feel a little bit insecure? Is that what this is? I do have a question though, right? With this super straight thing, is a lot of these, mainly men, are saying that, you know, they like, the reason that they're super straight, right, is that they prefer vaginas. And then you get to the point though, where it becomes quite apparent that it's definitely transphobic, is that what about women who have had bottom surgery? What about them? They have vaginas. You wouldn't know that they were trans. You would have no idea that they were trans unless they told you. So why then does that preference carry on there? Why then do you hate that? Are you unattracted to them if you were fully attracted to them up until you knew that information? Why? You can't claim that it's genital preference. What's the preference? It's because you don't like trans people? It's because you're transphobic. Is that? Okay. Great. So thank you for admitting that you were very aware that this is transphobia, that you are just trying to cover up. Preferences do not equal sexuality, right? I have a preference for more feminine attributes, right? Like, I prefer more feminine men. Am I femsexual? No, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. I am queer with a preference to feminine energy or feminine traits, characteristics, whatever you want to say. That's a preference. There might be exceptions. Who knows? That's just a preference that I have. I've been slightly all over the place, but there is a TikTok by Antifa Cog that I think describes it very, very well. It's very short, very quick. I'm gonna play it here, and I think that he described the preference thing better than I just did. Yeah, okay.
So some are clearly struggling to understand why being super straight is transphobic. It's less about who you date, but how you talk about it. So let me explain. Let's say Gemma has only ever dated black and Asian men. She seems to have a preference and that's generally okay, but if she went out of her way to say she doesn't date white men because they're pasty and not real men, suddenly this has a very different feel to it, right? Black women get treated this way a lot and are often excluded from femininity. Preference is okay, but it has to be taken case by case. You can go through life and never find one black or trans woman attractive, and that's okay. No one will make you go out with them or sleep with them. But they are women and exist in your dating pool as a straight man. Other straight men date them. You haven't met all the women in the world, so treat them as individuals, the same way that Gemma should respect white men as men, even if she only ever finds black men attractive. But you don't like penis. That's okay. You can have a genital preference, but be careful not to stereotype. Not all trans women have a penis, and not all cis women can have babies, so take this into account. Do it case by case. But wouldn't this make it homophobic to be straight? No, you're not denying anyone's identity by not dating other men. Those men live as men, and that's their identity, but if you insist it's unnatural or gay men aren't real men, then it becomes homophobic, and you see how that's a problem.
Now that we've had a little bit of a discussion about what super straight is and why it's the most ridiculous thing in the entire world and how it's transphobic, let's just look at a few things people have been saying, yeah? Okay. Someone please tell me. Please tell me when the cis hets weren't shining. They're talking about this whole thing as though they're brave and they're strong. And I've seen so many people saying like, be proud to be super straight. We're rising up. It's our time to shine. We should get a parade. We should have... What? Do these people see how stupid they are? Do these people really not understand what pride is? Do they not get that? Do they think they've done something revolutionary here, as though like a majority of cis het people aren't like this? You've never been oppressed for having that preference. You've never been oppressed for being het. You've never been oppressed for being cis. You don't know what that looks like. You don't know what that is. You've never had to fight for anything. People might make fun of you on the internet. But that's it. That's it. There are trans people getting beat up, getting murdered, being made to feel as though they can't exist. There are places where it's illegal. There are people who live their whole lives hiding who they are because they can't be who they actually are without putting themselves in danger. And that's why we have pride. Because we're celebrating the fact that people are able to be themselves. Or sometimes people are able to be themselves. And that's something worth celebrating because it's taken a really long time to get to a place where people feel as though they can be themselves openly. You've never experienced that before. I do. What are you fighting against? What are you standing up for? Literally nothing. Literally nothing. All you're doing is telling everyone that you are better than everyone and you're superior. We've been you. You've always thought like that. Society has always been like that. What are you on? You're so... Oh, my favorite thing about the flag, right? It's a black and orange square, which firstly... same colors as Grindr, which I think is hilarious. But secondly, it's also the same color as Pornhub. And I don't know, I think that's really funny. Like, I found this super lesbian flag. Tell me it doesn't look like a porn category. It's terrible. The fetishization of lesbians and like lesbian porn in general is very, very gross a majority of the time. But this is funny to me. People outside of super straight have also made them like super gay and super lesbian and super bisexual, which tell me how that one isn't transphobic. Because as like a bisexual person, you already don't have like a genital preference. So you can't use that as an argument even then. So they're all bad, but like that one tips it over the edge a little bit, you know? Anyway, but the super lesbian reminds me so much of Gold Star lesbians, which I've made TikToks about that like 10 months ago. And how that's a fucked up thing that's like existed for a long time as far as I'm aware, which if you don't know what like a Gold Star lesbian is someone who's never touched a penis. And a lot of gold star lesbians will only date other gold star lesbians. They don't want to have even been like secondhand touched a penis, which I think is very gross. It's very biphobic, panphobic, queerphobic, and transphobic. It's just an awful, gross thing. Not okay. So this whole transphobia is not a new thing, obviously. And it exists within the LGBTQ plus community heavily, as well as outside of it. And trans people often don't feel like they have a safe place to be. And that's really fucking sad. It's really sad. It's really awful. And I don't know why there are so many cis-het people who think that they're being brave for saying they don't want to date trans people as though...
So I'm sure y'all have seen this video by now, the super straight thing. Yeah, so many people have tagged me in this video.
If nobody's heard about the genius she's mentioning in the video, this dude made up his own sexuality. It's called super straight. Since people are trying to project their lives onto everybody else, this guy came up with a sexuality, super straight, only attracted to the opposite sex that was born. That's sex. And this chick's butthurt about it because her logic got played. And this is my favorite comment. Super straight phobic and proud. 25,500 likes. If that's not just the epitome of hypocrisy. If I would have said something of the equivalent on the other end of the spectrum, I'd be canceled. And she's having a hard time reacting to all these videos because TikTok won't let her because she's trying to infringe on this dude's sexuality. This young lady's inability to keep the same energy gives me gas. So get used to it, because us super straights ain't going anywhere. I think maybe even we need a parade. Keep the same energy.
If I said I was homophobic and proud, I would get cancelled. Yeah, because homophobic people kill gay people. They attack gay people. They don't give them jobs. They don't give them housing. The LGBTQ plus community are at a much greater risk of not being able to have shelter, have jobs, have family. What happens if you come out as super straight? People on the internet tell you to shut up. That's what happens. If you come out as queer in any way, a lot of bad shit can happen. Yeah, that can be a dangerous thing to do. So by you saying you're homophobic or transphobic and proud, it kind of means almost condoning hate crimes. Yeah, it means that you're standing with oppressing a whole group of people. Saying you're straight phobic is a joke. It's a joke because the sexuality is a joke. There's nothing offensive about it. Just say you're straight. I'm also straight phobic. Straight phobic, heterophobic. I am also heterophobic and proud. Everyone leave a comment below. Super straight phobic, heterophobic, both of me. It's a joke. And it's funny because there's no negative consequences to the joke. I'm not further aiding in the oppression of heterosexual people because there is no oppression of heterosexual people. That's it. And you can't make the joke the other way around because it's actually harmful and causing further harm. It's not that hard to understand. I do think you genuinely understand that and just choose to ignore it because you want to justify being an asshole. The ignorance is just mind-blowing. People really just choose to... I don't see homophobia. I don't see hate crimes. I don't see it. Oppression? No, not anymore. It's 2021. Queer people no longer oppressed. Bro, open your goddamn eyes. Just like for a minute. Just think about anyone other than yourself. Just like look at the world around you and sit down. You're heterosexual. You're straight. End of. That's it. You didn't have to create a whole new sexuality just to say that you're transphobic and then say, but I'm not. It's just a preference. Exactly. It's a preference, not a sexuality. Oh, those are my thoughts. I am sorry that they were very messy. My brain is a mess at the moment. I don't know if any of this made sense. Listen, this whole thing is so mind-boggling to me. I obviously am not trans, so I can't speak on the trans experience. I can't speak from that perspective. I don't know what it's like. I've never experienced transphobia or having to date as a trans person. If you do want to hear trans creators' opinions on this, Sam Collins did a video about this the other day, and Jamie Dodger is releasing a video about this today too. I don't know if he's already released it or if it's going to come out in like half an hour. I don't know. Go check them out. They make amazing content and their videos are fantastic and often better put together than mine. Especially for this one. My brain is a mess right now and they would have done much better jobs than me. So go check them out. I hope that you know my perspective of this a little bit better now. I hope that this was entertaining. I hope that my words came out of my mouth okay. Comment below if you too are a superphobe. A massive thank you to my Kiwi Fruit and Kiwi Bird channel members whose names are up on the screen right now. And a massive thank you to my channel member of the day, Johnny. Thank you so much for joining. I love and appreciate you so, so much. If you would like to become a channel member, you can click the top link in the description or the little blue join button. You get my videos a day early as well as 10% off my shop at thequeerkiwi.com/shop. And I've just added a new tier called Kiwi Bird where you get a little bit of bonus footage that doesn't make it into my videos. I hope that you have enjoyed this video to any degree. Let me know your thoughts on this entire movement. Let me know what you want to see from me next. Follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. And when you close your eyes,